From the Fox 10 Gulf Stream, this is Next Weather.
Well, as we've been seeing on our live cameras, plenty of people are hitting the beach as we approach Easter weekend. And for an update on the rip current risk over the next few days, here's meteorologist Jennifer Lambers.
Spring break is in full swing across the Gulf Coast, and now is the time to make sure that you're prepared in case you're heading on down towards the beaches, especially with the spring and summer months coming up, to know what to do with rip current risk. Now, the first thing is always to be aware and know what's going on. I mean, this was a look earlier down at Orange Beach. A lot of folks packing the beaches. The visibility just between folks is really low there because of how crowded it is, and you can still see a lot of them getting into the water despite how high the rip current risk and how rough the water is. So again, this was a view earlier today. The camera pretty shaky there as we're still starting to see some of those breezy winds. Now for today until tomorrow, we do have a small craft advisory. This is mainly for our offshore waters as it's still pretty breezy and pretty rough out there, but locally closer towards our beaches, we do have our high rip current risk. So rip current statements are in effect until the early morning hours into your Thursday, all across the Gulf Coast. It's still staying rough out there for today, but the good news is that we are expecting this to drop. Now, the rip current risk heading into tomorrow, they drop down to moderate, and by Friday and into Saturday, even Sunday, expecting that to drop down to low. So in case you were thinking on heading on out towards the beaches heading into this weekend, it's going to be looking okay, but as always, know where the closest lifeguard stand is and always know the name of the beach that you are located on. So we will start to see improvements over the next few days. You just have to wait it out just a little bit. And one thing that's really contributing to this is our winds. They're out of the north right now. They're still a little breezy heading into tomorrow as we're going to continue to see those sustained winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the north, but major improvements are on the way. Again, stay updated with Fox 10 News. You can always download our Fox 10 News weather app. That way you're staying updated with the forecast and you know when those rip current risks are going to continue to stay high. We'll keep you updated right here.
Well, rip currents are caused by windy conditions that drive up the surf and the groundswell, and windy conditions are something we see quite a lot of in the springtime. I have some video I want to show you here that we shot downtown during the Downtown Cajun Cook-Off over the weekend on Saturday. We had a strong northerly wind, and you can see the trees moving around there. Common to see winds out of the north one day, and a couple days later, you see the winds out of the south. Let me show you what happened later into the weekend here, and taking a look at it. Yeah, we had a major wind setup ahead of this storm system that we just experienced on Tuesday, on Monday and Tuesday. And what causes wind? Let's break it down. The difference between high pressure and low pressure. The wind or the air wants to travel directly from high pressure to low pressure, but it can't because of the Coriolis effect, which turns everything to the right in the northern hemisphere. So winds flow outward away from high pressure in a clockwise direction around high pressure and counterclockwise around a low pressure area, and that is going to work together to channel or funnel the winds in our area. When you see these lines of equal pressure that are tightly packed, those are called isobars, and when they're tightly packed, it means it's going to be windy. And you've got the high working in this direction, you've got the low working in this direction, and the two are forcing the wind to increase in its intensity. We saw some significant winds in our area, some amazing gusts above tropical storm force. Let's look at some of those gusts as of Monday, the predicted winds, and they did verify some of the peak gusts we saw up around 43 miles an hour for places like Mobile, Pensacola, Navarre. So it'll be windy out of the north behind a front. You may get a day or two with a lull, and then it's windy out of the next front, and that's what you see as you are in the month of March and April. Very windy in the springtime. Thanks for joining us here for Next Weather.